Good morning. I'm Dennis with Ministry Partnerships here at Sat7 USA, and glad you're joining us. And I've got a question. It's April. A lot of people thinking about taxes. What if we could reduce your tax burden and create more revenue for your favorite ministry? Well, I'm here with Bill High, who this has been your passion for years now, right? And talk to us about how people can do their taxes in creative ways for ministry.
Well, Dennis, it's really been great to be part of this journey and journey with you guys as well. And certainly one of the things that we've seen is that a lot of people just aren't aware that they can actually give more and pay less tax.
That's a great idea.
Pretty good combination.
That's right.
And it's amazing what we saw at year end last year. We saw giving go up by literally double. And so one of the simple ones is people can give more by paying less tax by using things that are non-cash. So we saw a lot of publicly traded stock gifts given, but we also things like real estate. We saw things like business interests. Government allows people to give 30% of their income each year using those non-cash assets.
But don't most people, like sitting in the pew Sunday morning, think in tithing and generosity with like cash in their pocket or writing a check?
80% of the giving world is cash, but the beauty of it is people are sitting on a lot of non-cash, and it may be even simply that they've got a China set or they've got a car, and that translates into the missionary going to the field.
Okay, so let's just think about somebody in church Sunday morning. Just walk us through what are the steps to living more generously, creating a legacy for that family in church.
Well, a simple idea there too, and you got it right, is that all the scientific studies tell us that if you want to have a happy life, you'll be generous. You'll be a giver. So it's a great thing. But at the same time, we also know that people want to think about legacy. They want to think about something that lasts. They want to think about something that matters. We wrote a book here called Giving It All Away and Getting It All Back Again with David Green.
Right.
You've probably read it, Dennis?
I've read it, yes. It was a great book, great read, and the idea of giving it all away is kind of a new concept for a lot of us.
But what David talks about in the book and what we really try to drive home is that the idea of your legacy goes beyond just one generation. You want to think about multiple generations. So for your family, if we can think about 7 generations of a family that would carry on a legacy, that's powerful, the idea of a long-lasting set of
And that's
values.
a biblical concept.
It's absolutely. The promise to Abraham was for generations.
Great. So how can people get more information about legacy and creating this kind of legacy for their family?
Well, we have a website, so if they go to thesignatory.com, there's all kinds of information on how they do that, and we start with the base ideas of how they can actually set up an account and do some of their giving, some of their non-cash giving, that give more, pay less tax kind of idea.
Okay. And I know Sat7 has Planning Your Legacy Guide, and if you just contact our office, and the email is usa@sat7.org, you can get that, and it'll be in the comments as well. And I'm sure somebody will put your contact information in the comments of this Facebook Live. I know you're passionate about not only handling people's money, but really helping families create this legacy, live generously. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, one of the big things that we've seen in families is that oftentimes they try to plan their estates just through an estate or through financial planning, but what they really tend to miss is how do they help prepare their kids and how they can help their kids think about carrying on that set of values. It's a different conversation than just an estate plan.
Okay. So, and I suppose all that information's on your website? And
all on the website, so that if they go to the signatory.com, signatory.com, then they can go there and they can get that information.
Yeah, now this office this week, you had some breaking news.
We did, yeah.
Tell us about that breaking news.
So this week we just launched the signatory.com. Now we had a 17-year history of being involved with the National Christian Foundation, but we made a switch. We made a switch to a new back office, and so here we are launched. We're continuing that history of the 17 years. We're just doing it under a new brand and a new back office. We've been able to lower fees, make it easier. We actually took away minimum monthly charges. Financial advisors can come join us. And the big idea there is we want everyone to be able to live out the idea of a generous life in whatever shape or form that looks like, and with whatever they may want to be able to give, whether it's cars, trucks, boats, cash, publicly traded stock, and the like, because we know that a generous life brings joy.
And you're also the one that, you're talking about boats and stuff. You're the one that created the I Donate
We did, yeah.
idea.
We created an organization called idonate.com, and it works with lots of ministry partners around the country. And it's a donation platform where people can give virtually anything.
So if somebody's watching, they have a boat that they haven't used for years, they might as well use I Donate. And
we've done some boats. We've done a lot of real estate. We've done even the China set that I mentioned to you.
Wow.
We've got gold. So again, people, when they look inside their house, they can look and say, hey, this stuff, perhaps it can be given and given to ministry that, again, maybe is going to go out and help share the gospel around the world.
And like Sat7, we're a Middle East indigenous broadcast satellite television ministry with a vision to see a growing church across the Middle East and North Africa. And if you can create a legacy and lower your tax and create that extra revenue in a creative way for a ministry like Sat7, that really helps the church across the Middle East that we hear in the news so much. And we want to make the gospel available to everyone in the Middle East and North Africa. And these extra gifts would be a great help to a ministry like Sat7.
That's the big idea. We really believe that God's the owner of everything. So if you look at it that way, that God's the owner of everything, then you should be able to give just about everything. But we want to help people see that whatever they have, whatever is in their hands, could actually be given and translate to lives changed.
Great. Well, again, it's great to be here on Facebook Live, and we got a lot of guests joining us. What's some closing ideas for people that are tuning in right now? And then be sure to give some contact information.
Yeah, so if they go to our website, thesignatory.com, one of the simple ideas is that they can create a giving account. And that giving account is the place where they can come in and do some of their regular giving as a family. And that's one of the really big keys, is just giving regularly through an account like this is one of the simple ways that they help the local church, they help ministries like Sat7. And then if they want to go and pick up giving it all away, then go to Hobby Lobby as a place, then go to Barnes & Noble, then go to Amazon, pick up the book. It's a great way to encourage yourself, your family, in this whole idea of leaving a legacy.
And again, thank you for joining us. And if you're new, just joining this Facebook Live, Sat7 is a Middle East broadcaster, and get more information at sat7usa.org, and contact the office. We'd be glad to send out that legacy planning guide. And again, we trust that as you think about your taxes, that you'll think biblically, and that you'll think creatively and generate some new revenue for ministries. I was with the Sending Project last night, and they want to bring together 1,000 churches in Kansas City. It's amazing in collaborative partnership what they're doing, but almost every ministry needs resources. So there's so much we can do creatively to fund the ministry of the local church, and appreciate what you guys do here and what you do personally, and your passion to see legacy taught to families and businesses and churches across the country. So again, thank you for joining me on this, and thank you all, and have a great weekend.
Yep. Thanks very much, Dennis.